What's going on, YouTube fam? It's your boy Jamal, once again back with Leveled Up Credit Services. And today we're going to talk about what can you dispute on your consumer report and how can you dispute it? Why are you disputing it? This question came up last week. We all know we're still in the midst of Equifax and being investigated by the feds, right? Because they knowingly sent out incorrect credit scores for millions of people earlier this year, between May and April. Okay, so if you applied for something during that time and you were denied, and in that it's called an adverse action letter, okay, in which they tell you why they denied you. If they use information from Equifax, you were probably affected at that time. Okay, so what can you dispute? Now, notwithstanding the situation with Equifax, okay, just generally speaking, you could dispute anything on your consumer report, okay, because it is a report about you. It is your right as a consumer to be able to tell these people what you want said about you, what you don't want said about you. Now, I'm not saying that's an easy task. I'm not saying that you'll just make a quick phone call and everything is just going to come off your consumer report with the snap of your finger. Absolutely not. They are going to fight you tooth and nail to keep information on your consumer report, whether it's right or wrong, right? And that's the messed up part. So you could dispute anything that's on your consumer report. Your birth date wrong, that's not how you spell your name, that's not your address, you don't want your social on there, you never worked at a certain employer, it says you're married, you never been married, right? It says a co-signer. Why is a co-signer on my consumer report? That don't make sense. That's not me. It shouldn't be like, no, take that off, right? So anything, okay? Now, they're going to say, well, why am I disputing? Or the question was, why am I disputing? My answer is, I personally wouldn't know why you're disputing this information. You would have to figure that out, okay? Is it inaccurate? Meaning that, they put one account number, but that's not your actual account number. Is it inaccurate? Is it incomplete? For example, it says that in the payment history, and you have these fields of just zero, is nothing there, it's just blank, and it says no data or not reported, right? Those months where it says no data or not reported, that would be incomplete reporting. That's a reason to dispute. Timeliness, okay? If you have, let's say there's a charge off and it's 8 years old, that's a reason to dispute. Shouldn't be there, okay? Paid or unpaid, after 7 years, any negative information automatically after 7 years has to go away. Like, that's the law, okay? Inquiries, they can only stay on there for 2 years, right? Now with this information being on your consumer report, they're going to try and tell you that, oh, inquiries have to stay on your consumer report for 2 years. They don't. There's nothing that mandates that it has to be there for 2 years. Same thing with negative information. Same thing, especially with bankruptcies. And the crazy part about bankruptcy is that they don't even go to the original source to get the information. A bankruptcy basically is filed at the court. So these companies actually pay people to go into the court or log on to a website called Pacer to look up cases and basically steal your information off of Pacer and then put it onto your consumer report. And they claim, oh, because it's public information, they could just put it on your consumer report. But then there's another part that, certain public records aren't supposed to be on your consumer report in the first place, right? A couple of years ago, that's why they removed things like judgments and tax liens from your consumer report. Okay, so those are some reasons to dispute it. Okay, but if you have more specific reasons to your situation, you definitely want to put that, whatever it may be. Okay, as long as it falls in line with it's not supposed to be there, it's untimely, it's inaccurate, it's misleading information. Okay, it's not supposed to be there. Lastly, they were asking, well, how do I dispute it? You can dispute it any way you want. Now, again, the companies are going to lie to you and tell you, oh, you can only do your disputes a certain way. That's a lie. Okay. Now, I always recommend sending a certified letter, green card, signature required, right? Especially if you're doing this for yourself, because what that does is that it actually shows that the mail was delivered and somebody received it. Just in case, because these companies will lie. I'm going to tell you this. I recently called TransUnion for myself about inquiries, right? TransUnion told me that on a recorded line, I'm going to put this out there into the universe so everybody can see it. TransUnion told me on a recorded line that you cannot dispute inquiries over the phone, nor can you dispute them via fax. You had to mail them in something, right? Now, and then the person said that it was based on the change to the FCRA. I said, okay, so what's the change? She couldn't tell me, right? So you can dispute via fax, via telephone, via certified mail, okay? Even online, if they have an online dispute center, okay? Keep that in mind. And another thing is that you can dispute in one of these ways, or you can dispute in a combination of all of them, okay? Now, I say for the protection of your consumer rights, it's best to use the written letter with certification and signature. That way it's proof that they received it. Let me know if this helped. Again, like, subscribe, leave a comment, thumbs up, thumbs down. Share this video if you found it helpful. Greatly appreciate y'all. Once again, it's Jamal, Leveled Up Credit Services, and I am out.